There are a lot of skills that you can unlock in the early parts of the game that will make your gameplay even more fun and engaging. But the challenging part is knowing which one to prioritize because of the sheer number of skills and passives right in front of you. But you can never go wrong in getting the Vital Spirit skill, a skill that provides you 4% additional Amrita gains per kill. It may not look like much at first glance, but it does accumulate over time, even if you don't use it in dedicated farming sessions. The enemy base located north of the Tenryou River is the location you need to go to get this skill, and get it from a chest located on top of a small watchtower and you are good to go. Beginners will surely appreciate the Panacea Cure Fast passive because of the 15% additional potency of the elixir, making every use more ideal and possibly saving you charges in the long run, perfect for long excruciating battles. The Hojo Shrine, located in the western part of the Tenryou region, is infested with enemies. Kill these bugs and liberate the shrine to get the Bloody Iron Key. You can use this to unlock the shrine to get the Panacea Cure Fast from a treasure chest, and your elixirs will never be the same. The Peasant Leap skill in the Ninja skill tree will allow you to instantly jump or cancel normal attack combinations, giving the players the ability to transition to mid-air attack combos without relying on regular jumps. The Ninja playstyle is a hell of a style that takes advantage of insane aerial attack skills and strategies, which has its own set of mastery and depth. So if you want to main a ninja, get this skill right now in your skill tree. Dodging enemy attacks will most of the time offset you away from the boss, or it is a pain to close the distance from the boss after they pull off a special AoE attack mechanic. But the lightning step of the ninja skill tree will allow you to gracefully gap close to your target and go in for the kill. I just wish the samurai had this as well in the early parts of the game because of how broken the gap closing speed of this skill is. And yes, you can easily unlock this skill in your skill tree if you have the locks that is. This list has barely any attack skills on it unless you absolutely need to. Attack skills that can drastically affect your gameplay, like making it more fluid and fun, are going to be the ones included on this list. And the ground fire ninjutsu of the ninja is one of them. While I don't regularly use this skill in the usual way, but I am using it as a follow-up attack when I am at mid-air and then following up with a downward slash, allowing me to double dip on the damage. Unlock the ground fire in your skill tree right away, and your aerial attacks finisher will be changed forever. I will be covering the best attack skills on the other hand on a different video, so stay tuned for that. The ninja playstyle is all about fast movement speed and lightning fast evading maneuvers. Not only that, this style has a cheap key usage when doing actions, so the dodging skill will further lessen the cost of your dodging maneuvers by 10%. Hard fights usually consist of 50% dodging and 50% attacking, so you will be getting a lot of value on this one. Unlock this skill by heading to the hunting caves and opening a chest near a crucible wraith in the area. Speaking of dodging attacks, unlocking the evade skill early is a totally different beast. I know it's confusing, but regular dodge and evade are two different things in this game. But for you to not get confused, evade is your perfect dodge in the ninja playstyle, giving you longer iframes and can also be followed up with a regular dodge. This allows you to chain your dodges to immediately cover a wide distance between enemies. Then you can pull off a lightning step that we just talked about to slide back in and out of combat. The Cicada Shell will allow you to vanish with a smoke and slide at lightning speed behind the enemy. This may look like a boring skill at first, but I am telling you, there are a lot of broken strategies in mid to late game that require you to attack an enemy from behind. And the Cicada Shell is one of the effective ways of doing that. And you can just unlock this right away in your skill tree. Enough dodges or sleek defensive maneuvers, and the Rebounding Surge gives your ninja 15% damage boost after casting any status inflicting ninjutsu on the enemy. The status ailment will be applied to you as well in exchange for the damage. Like for example here, if you use the fire ninjutsu like the Uncanny Flame and inflict a burn status on the target, you will be inflicted with a burn status as well, as you can see. But you will have a 15% damage increase useful when creating burst setups. If you main the ninja, get the skill as soon as possible after completing the events in Hamamatsu Castle Town and getting your Spirit Enko, so you can traverse walls with a cool looking animation and loot the skill from a dead body. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine, or consider supporting me on Patreon or by becoming a channel member today, and I appreciate your support. The Samurai is a huge powerhouse in Nioh 3, and there are a lot of early skills that you should be unlocking first to make this style even more broken, and the Unshakable skill is one of them. The Unshakable reduces the damage taken by a samurai by 10% when in the middle of attack animation. And you might be wondering, why would you want to get hit while attacking in the first place? The samurai is capable of wearing heavy samurai armor sets that will allow them to face tank attacks while pulling off crazy combos, such as martial arts. Some of the best martial arts have long animation or wind-up time, so receiving attacks sometimes can't be avoided. If you pair Unshakable with something like the Oppressive Strength and the Resolute Arts, your poise and damage mitigation will greatly increase when in the middle of martial arts animation, so you can overpower your enemies. Get this skill early by heading to Tenryu region and loot the dead body that has the item to start making your samurai one step closer to being OP. And if you are wondering where is the Oppressive Strength and the Resolute Arts are on this list because they sound and look broken, the said skills are more of a mid-game skills, which I will be covering soon. Very early on in the game, who wouldn't want a little more damage to squeeze in? The Attack Mastery 1 will give your character 5 additional points on your overall attack stat, but getting this skill is a little bit tricky. Head to the location on the screen right now and access yet another building. Head to the upper floor and access another open window, navigate the roofing and enter the connecting house. Head downstairs to open the chest containing the Attack Mastery 1 skill. While dodging is one of the common ways of avoiding enemy attacks, but you can also effectively guard against them or deflect enemy attacks, but more on deflect later. The Recoup skill will give you the chance to do a key pulse in every successful guard that the player performs. And any skill that generates key pulse in this game is ideal, so for those who love guarding, getting this skill is the way. And you can do so by heading to the outskirts of Hamamatsu town, heading into a cave, and getting the skill from a treasure chest. And guarding from enemy attacks will never be the same. The Samurai's playstyle will allow players to change stances in combat anytime they wish to. And each stance has its advantages and disadvantages, like the high stance, which deal very potent damage but sacrifices attack speed, while the low stance is the opposite, while the mid stance serves a middle ground as expected. Not to mention that unlocking high and low stance opens up different sets of movesets, which you can access with a certain stance only. So if you simply want to unlock the next level of samurai gameplay, you can do so by just unlocking the high and low stance. Parry lovers on the other hand should prioritize deflect as it will allow your samurai to parry attacks, and I cannot stress how satisfying the sound and feel of parries in this game. In every successful parry, you will generate ki and accumulate charges in the process for ninjutsu and art gauge as well. This is one of the basic skills that you can easily unlock right at the very start of the game, and do so and master parrying like there's no tomorrow. But what if you want your deflects or parries to be even more godly? The Roaring Dragon deflect is highly suggested. This skill will debuff the enemies with increased elemental damage received in every successful deflect that a player performs. Even though the samurai style doesn't have access to elemental attacks that much aside from lightning in the early game, you can parry any attack with the samurai to inflict the elemental debuff on enemies and switch to ninja style and start casting your elemental ninjutsu. Get this skill by heading to the southern parts of the Tokaido region, and this location has a lone samurai mini-boss that you need to beat, who is the Green Shadow's Blade. Beating the samurai here will then reward you with a sweep step heavy skill, which is another skill of course, and in the same location where you fought the samurai, head inside the cabin and get the Roaring Dragon deflect skill from a treasure chest. The Awakening skill or passive is simply one of the most important skills that you need to unlock early on. This skill significantly cuts the casting time of summons and talisman usage, and I cannot stress why it is so important in combat since you don't want to get caught of the long animations. There are a lot of good talismans and summons to play with in Nioh 3, so even if you don't main a magic type build, unlocking this skill is simply non-negotiable. Unlock this skill by just completing the Way of the Onmyo Novice, a battle scroll that you will get from Saito after unlocking your main hub in the game. While I'll mention that, this list will focus mostly on skills that will make your gameplay fluid, but less on offensive skills. But unlocking the Severin Spin is hands down one of the earliest skill that I will be unlocking as soon as possible if I start a brand new playthrough. A lot of players will use the katana as their main weapon, and this weapon type doesn't have any wide AoE attack option in the early parts of the game. And the Severing Spin not only hits hard, but covers a wide range that is both effective in single and multiple targets. And I cannot stress how this skill can improve your samurai gameplay overall. And you can get this skill by mastering any Crucible katana that drops in Crucible main areas. Once you get one, max its proficiency to unlock the skill permanently. Your first Crucible area is the Hamamatsu Castle town, which is your first main objective in the game, and it's not far out from where you start. And I also mentioned that any key generating skill is simply broken in this game, and I stand by it. Because ki makes the world go round in this game, and the more ki generating skills or movesets you have, the better you can maintain your ki, the more attacks and dodges you can perform. The running water skill allows you to generate a ki pulse in every dodge you make, just like how every normal attack does. Samurai dodge will not just be a ki drainer, but also a generator if you have this skill, which makes the style gameplay so fluid. Get this skill in your first main Crucible dungeon, the Hamamatsu Castle town. After progressing in the area, facing a huge ball of Crucible, navigate a straightforward huge bone arm that serves as a bridge that will eventually lead you to a ladder. Jump on the ladder and get the running water skill from a chest and you are all set. And I firmly believe that Flux 1 and 2 and Frost Moons are hands down the key skills that every samurai player should prioritize more than anything else. This skill or passive will allow you to generate a huge amount of ki when changing stance during a ki pulse. You know where this is going, right? It is clear as day that Nioh 3 encourages aggressive gameplay where continuous changes in stances in the middle of an attack animations are going to be the norm here. So the game gives you a one-of-a-kind combat experience compared to your other Souls-like games. Not only does changing stances will give you a completely different gameplay and new attack skills to master, but it will also reward you with immense ki generation because of Flux 1 and 2. Frost Moon attacks is directly related to Flux, so I can't separate them. And what Frost Moon does is it allows you to perform a unique attack in every ki pulse you perform, instead of your regular ki pulses where you just stand by when doing the pulse. Each of the stances has its own Frost Moon attacks, and each of them does not consume ki when being performed and generates ki for you instead. As mentioned, I will be covering the best attack skills for both the ninja and samurai playstyle soon. But what if you want to know the best early spots to farm Amrita and be overpowered early? This video will teach you everything you need to know, so click on it and I will catch you on the next one.